What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another video. And today we have a ton of updates. Really, the only update actually is from DEREK LUNSFORD, and this crazy physique update you're seeing on the screen right now of him at what would it be, 9 weeks out, 10 weeks out of that 2022 Mr Olympia. His open Mr Olympia debut. But we've also got comments from Chris the Technician Aceto from a most recent episode of Heavy Muscle Radio with Dave Palumbo over there on RX Muscle, and we're going to go over what comments he made about DEREK LUNSFORD and his chances at the 2022 Mr Olympia. And guys, get in the comments, ask your questions, and potentially I'm trying to get DEREK LUNSFORD on to this live. We'll see how we go with that one. But obviously, the latest physique update, absolutely crazy. But I'm going to go to Chris Aceto's comments, and hopefully you guys can hear me all good on this one. Let me know if you can, if you can't, all that sort of stuff. For some reason, we only have 5 live viewers, which I find hard to believe in a minute. So let me know if you guys can see me live or not. I'll just double check that we are live. Yeah, we're getting, I think, a few. Here we got a question from Kyle H. Shout out to you for getting in the comments. Said Derek versus Bonak versus Hardy versus Nick. Who you got in order? I'll get to that later on in this video as well. But let's get on to some of these comments here from Chris Aceto. I'll just double check that we're live as well. And I can see that we are live on YouTube. Awesome. And I've got a poll up too. It's where will DEREK LUNSFORD place at the 2022 Mr Olympia? 0% so far. We've only got 15 votes. 0% say first. 7% say second to third. 53% say fourth to sixth. 44% say 7th or worse. And the percentages are changing right before my eyes. So keep voting on that one, guys. But here's what Chris Aceto had to say on the latest episode of Heavy Muscle Radio. Hopefully you guys can hear this.
Someone, Binks Cat, asked, what is DEREK LUNSFORD going to place?
How do you think he'll place, Chris?
Antonio Burton winning this show is a foreshadowing of destruction of DEREK LUNSFORD at this Olympia.
So what Chris Aceto means is Tonio Burton placed 8th in the 212 Olympia last year, comes in, wins this show against the likes of Justin Rodriguez, who's a top 10 Mr. Olympia finisher. So it sort of plays out to thinking that, okay, DEREK LUNSFORD would, in theory, dominate Tonio Burton on stage. And I think he would at this stage of where their physiques are at. And the fact that Tonio Burton can be a top 10 Mr. Olympia finisher, sort of like Chris Aceto says, foreshadows what DEREK LUNSFORD might do at this 2022 Mr. Olympia. But let's listen on.
That's my prediction.
So you think he's going to
absolute destruction?
Really?
Oh, he's going to do unbelievably well.
Oh, so what? So what do you mean by destruction?
He's going to destroy that show, Lunsford.
Oh, you do. When you say destroy, are you talking top 5, top 3? I mean,
top 5 for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
In this Olympia lineup, top 5 for sure is a big call as well, even though, you know, DEREK LUNSFORD would be hoping for higher than that. I mean, you got to knock off big names. You got to knock off Hunter Labrada, maybe a Nick Walker, maybe a William Bonak, some top quality names, guys that are capable of winning Arnold Classic titles to get him in top 5 of this show.
It'll be I'm excited to see how he's going to place up there and how he'll look up there next to these guys. It's hard to, you know, it's hard. I know we saw him at the guest posing at the Pittsburgh show. We saw him next to these guys, but when people are,
we'll get to some photos and footage of that as well. Some footage actually.
In shape, it's a big difference. You know, we've never really seen Lunsford in the best shape of his life because he always has to suck down to make that 212.
He looked. If you go back and you look at him from the 212, he was just emaciated to get down.
Yeah.
So
now we will look at some video as well from that. Some actual video from Mark's Max Muscle that I've got. I think I pulled it up. Hopefully, I think it might be here. Yeah, here you can see from Mark's Max Muscle where we compare the 2020 version of DEREK LUNSFORD to the 2021 version, and then we'll go to that physique update and see how much his legs have progressed year to year, and not having to suck down to that super low weight. So as you can see here on my front double bicep, 2020 on the left, 2021 on the right. Also shout out to you guys for doing the live stream right now. AK says, have an awesome day, Xavier. Thank you, my man. Appreciate that. But yeah, so obviously massive improvements, and especially in the legs. That's the area I noticed the most between 2020 and 2021. He did say as well around 2020 that he was way under the weight limit. I think it was like by like maybe it's close to like 10 pounds or something like that. Might have even been 11 pounds. I can't quite remember. But you can see here, he's obviously getting much closer to that weight limit in 2021, just a much fuller physique. And you can see the waist actually looks tighter, but it's also because the lats are just bigger and wider as well. So his waist looks tighter and his lats are wider. I do know that Hani is a fan of wearing waist trainers as well by the recent comments on Ford Abiad's latest live, which goes for about 5 hours. We got a comment here from Cole Wallet. Says, in my opinion, in theory, he'll probably place either head of or behind Bonac and Hardy, depending on conditioning. Yeah, I mean, it's probably an accurate sort of spot where he might sort of end up at this contest. And I'm super excited to see where he actually does end up as well. But we'll look at through a few more of these shots just to compare the physiques through the years and what he might look like by going by this recent physique update. And you look in 2020 and he's really conditioned. You look at that pose, it's good. He's good from the front. And he didn't really have too much of a problem from the front apart from the quads in 2020. And you can see he filled that right out in 2021. But up here as well, you can just see it's more filled out, more round. He actually doesn't look quite as conditioned, but I think that's more just the lighting because the black backdrop is just much more flattering in my opinion. Because you look at the lats and how much bigger they really are when you look at them, there's a big difference there in my opinion. And then we'll go through side chest. Look at the amount of meat on the legs comparatively. Obviously very dry, very conditioned here, but there is just so much more mass here. It's actually crazy to think how much more size there is on his legs there. Side tricep, you can see there just overall upper body, you notice it more here as well, just the shoulders, how rounded they are, the triceps, biceps. He is just, like Chris Aceto said, for his physique and how much muscle he holds, he was emaciated, which is crazy even to say, but yeah, he definitely was a much smaller version of what he is now. Now we'll go through a few more of the poses, and I'll actually check to see if I can get Derek Lunsford on this live, potentially. Rear lat spread. Look, it looks like his glutes actually got longer down his legs. I know they're not, but like they just look completely different and they're way more developed. Like his glutes were inside out shredded here, but there's still plenty of deep lines in his glutes here and they're much more filled out and it just looks much better. And just his back looks different. Like it is just so much more impressive. So he really grew. I mean, that was his main thing, but he grew. He still came in condition. Just that full of muscle was just so much more impressive. Back double as well. Look at that. Like his back is just wider, whether he's just posing it better or what, I don't know. Just a much better look. The ab and thigh, much better. You can see the legs are lean here, but really that is, he has dieted, I'd say, a bit of muscle away during that prep for sure. And that's what people are excited about for this year's Open Mr. Olympia, just the fact that he won't be dieting muscle away. He's just so much rounder and just looks more pleasing overall, I guess. He's just not quite as crisp, but I think it's more just this lighting, to be honest. So I am super excited for the 2022 Mr. Olympia for Derek Lunsford. And I'll put up the latest physique update on the screen right now. And as you can see, those legs, when you compare it to those previous versions, it is absolutely night and day difference for Derek Lunsford and how much bigger his legs have actually gotten. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. A lot of comments up in here. Ali Lamar says, if a discernible judging criteria remains true, Derek in peak form, given his current dimensions in a fully stacked lineup, should be around 10 to 12. I don't think so. I think Derek is, when you compare him actually at that Mr. Olympia, when you compare him to Mr. Olympia, sorry, I was just reading through your guys' comments. The guest posing next to Nick Walker. I mean, Nick Walker is so crazy. I'm surprised that Derek Lunsford looked that crazy impressive. But yeah, I mean, he's looking very good right now. And you can see the conditioning with the abs as well, which is a good update. And I think he's sort of right on track. His abs are there, but not inside out shredded or anything yet. I mean, conditioning compared to the Pittsburgh Pro guest posing, I assume is maybe somewhat close. Maybe he's a little bit more crisp now. I'm not sure. Maybe he's trying to stay lighter then and he's actually, we did say he actually wants to gain into this show. So if he's trying to gain muscle into this prep, then yeah, wow. Like he's going to be pretty crazy. So I can't wait to see it. Also from Jeremy Yuzwinski says, I can't believe Xavier is still awake. Yeah, it's 1 a.m. but I'm doing this for you guys. So hopefully you appreciate it. I'll bring up that Pittsburgh Pro guest posing as well. There's Derek Lunsford's Instagram, YouTube page. You can find that in the comments, in the description. But let's play some of his guest posing. I'll turn that volume down as well. But this was just so crazy impressive. And when he gets into the shots, like his conditioning is really, for a guest posing, that is actually really, really good. Like the legs are sharp. That's why I wonder, like I'd love to get him on and actually find out if his conditioning was better now or here. I assume it's probably a little bit better now maybe, but that's impressive conditioning in my opinion. Mark's Max Muscle, my pleasure. Thanks for the video as well. It saved me having to put those photos side by side. I'll link up your video in the comments, as in the description as well. So I was actually meant to do that. My bad, dude. Beyond Mark said, I know this is a Lunsford discussion, but I'd love to hear your take on King Crizzo. My take on Crizzo is that I think that I agree with what Jay said. Check out my last video. I give a little bit of opinion on that, but yeah. Yes, and shout out to NPC News Online for this video as well. Oops. Yes, shout out to NPC News Online. Thank you so much. But it's cool. I mean, you look at his physique, it is just absolutely crazy. Like that vacuum, absolutely nuts. And I think he knew he's looking good too, for sure. But I'll skip to the footage of when he's actually on stage with Nick as well. I'll find that footage. Because I think we have a few individual ones right now. This is where we see, I think, Nick Walker come out. So you can see Nick Walker here. Aesthetically, obviously, Derek Lunsford was probably in better condition. I think he's definitely in better condition than Nick Walker. And Nick Walker is a mass monster too. So I think when you're off season as well, I think it's going to look, off season is going to look better on Derek Lunsford than a Nick Walker. Go to when all these guys come out on stage together. I'll let that play for you guys, and I'll pull up my Instagram, see if I can get Derek Lunsford on here quickly, see if we can ask him a few questions before we wrap this thing up. So I know he's a busy man. He's got a lot going on. Said, I'm trying to get on the link. Sorry, having some trouble. Yeah, hopefully we can get him on. If not, we will get him on very, very soon for a quick interview. But you can see here how impressive he looks. And he is shorter than a lot of these other guys as well. Like you can see he's shorter than Nick Walker there by a bit. But when he stands next to Nick Walker, he doesn't look overwhelmed or oversized. And he really did look like the most impressive one at this guest posing. Where's Hunter? Do you mean at the 2022 Mr. Olympia? Oh, there he is. Just meaning the video. Yeah, and Hunter was sort of underrated at this guest posing a little bit, I think. He had a ton of tan on it. It was running. It looked terrible. But Derek Lunsford, wow. And it makes an interesting discussion. Like, where would you place these guys at the Olympia this year? There's 3 guys there that are going to be switched around a lot. And, you know, some people might even switch Brandon Curry in there too. So these guys are all going to be, I think, pretty sort of close at the Olympia. I mean, Brandon is probably the least impressive looking here because, you know, he did say he's, you know, doing this for health reasons and all that sort of stuff. And considering that he probably really calmed down on training and what he was doing and taking and all that sort of stuff, I think he still actually looks sensational. But Derek Lunsford, just crazy, crazy impressive. Let's have a look at what Derek Lunsford is sending me. Let's see if I can get him on there. He's getting a weird message back. I'll see if I can get DEREK Lunsford on here. Let's have a look if I can do it. I'll try to send him the next link. Let me know if you guys have any experience with these things on here on Instagram, not on Instagram, on StreamYard, which is what I'm using to actually stream this. I'm going to try to share this. I'll just stop sharing for 1 second because I do need to share the link, and I need to try to invite. Copy. I'll send it one more time to DEREK Lunsford. Let's see if this works. All right, let's see if we can get him on here one last time. But guys, let me know your thoughts on DEREK Lunsford, and I'll answer some of your questions right now as well. Here, Kyle H. Moral comments. I don't think Derek will be conditioned enough to crack the top 5. I have him 6 to 8 in the Olympia. I mean, 6 to 8 in this lineup is crazy. I mean, that's like the Ian Valier sort of placing, but yeah, it's a much tougher sort of lineup this year. Goodman Zulu says, Xavier, how's it, bro? This Olympia won't be an easy path for most of the best bodybuilders we know. That's 100% true because, I mean, look how stacked it is. It's absolutely insane. I'm Truth says 7th place. I mean, 7th place in this lineup would not be bad at all, but it's so close between so many of these guys that anyone that finishes, I think, most likely between like 5th and 8th might be bitterly disappointing because they could be some of those top guys. All right. Let's see if we have any luck with DEREK Lunsford. Unfortunately, it's not working for him for whatever reason, but we will get him on another live very, very soon. And shout out to Derek for trying to get on there as well. But we're going to wrap this one up, guys. Let me know if Marks Max Muscle has one more comment. Derek's conditioning is second to none. He could get lost in the pack due to lack of size. I mean, he could definitely, but he looks so good at that Pittsburgh Pro guest posing. It's just hard to say. But guys, let me know what you think about DEREK Lunsford's latest physique update. Where do you think he'll place at the 2022 Mr. Olympia? I'm going to go to your poll right now and find the final results. If you haven't voted in it, vote in it right now in the YouTube live. I'll check this poll out right now. We've got 73 votes. You guys are voting right now to see it's popping up. 4% are voting for first for DEREK Lunsford. 8% are saying second to third. 64% are saying he'll place in the 4th to 6th. So a majority of you guys saying he'll place 4th to 6th in this Olympia. And then 23% saying 7th or worse. So most of you guys think he'll be in the 4th to 6th range. And that would be an outstanding Open Mr. Olympia debut. But I think he can go higher. I think that he's going to be right up there. But it is so hard when I actually do my predictions. I'm always in my own head when I do my predictions. I'm actually offending people right before my eyes. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this live up. Thank you guys so much for getting the comments, participating, and thank you to everyone watching this later on replay as well. So that's it for myself, Xavier Wills from Desktop Bodybuilding. Like I said, get in the comments. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate all the support I've been getting lately with all these lives. If you do enjoy them, let me know in the comments just so I remember to keep doing these as well. So that's it for me. We will get DEREK Lunsford on very, very soon on a live for an interview, but didn't get it today, but we'll get it done another day. So that's it for myself, Xavier Wills. Also check out that RX Muscle video as well. I'll put the link in the description below, and I'll also put the link to Mark's Max Muscle comparison video of DEREK Lunsford from 2020 to 2021. So that's it for myself, Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding. We are out.